Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Yes, we're still on the, is Joe Biden still the president? What's going on? Things are escalating. And as much as a big part of me wants to move on to talk about other things, it's quite possible. I'm not saying that this is assured, and I'm not saying that this is definite, but it's quite possible that we are in a very critical hour in this nation. Things are happening and moving that when you really start to take it in of what's gone on in the last week or two, and especially the last 24, 48 hours, yeah, it looks like some bad things are coming our way. So I have no other choice in a lot of ways. We need to talk about it, need to be ready for it. I do want to mention that this coming Sunday is our big monthly meeting. So if you are able to make it, please do. It should be an excellent one. We have a couple. I just got off the phone an hour or so ago talking to them. Older couple. They've been homesteading for years. And they're coming to talk about, raising rabbits for the manure, for the fur. And for those of you that eat it, you can eat them. Raise them for your dogs. I know several people. I've heard Joe Fox, Viking Preparedness. He does that. We raise rabbits. For those reasons, for animal food and garden and all these kind, they're great for that. So anyways, they're going to come and do a presentation. They're part of a homestead kind of community where they barter and trade and do all that kind of stuff. So it should be a really interesting time talking to them over the phone. They seem to be very knowledgeable. They're friends of a friend of a close, friends of a close friend. So if you can make it this Sunday, I believe that's the 28th. Same time, same place as always. Please do show up. Very family-friendly event. It's a potluck, so if you're able to bring something, great. If you can't, still show up. If you've never been and you want to come, shoot me an email, and I'll do my very best to get back with you so that you can know how to get there and be part of this really great monthly event that is put on. It's just, we've been doing this for over 4 years now, and it gets better and better every month. So there's that. All right, on to the crazy train. By the time you watch this, things are happening so rapidly that by the time you watch this video, I don't know, news could have drastically changed. Maybe Joe Biden does this public appearance and you get to see him, that he's still alive. Maybe it's announced that he's on death's door. Maybe it's announced that he's passed away. But things are happening so quickly that it's possible just by the time this video is uploaded and you're watching it that things have changed. But as of the making, there's nothing official, okay? Kamala Harris looks like that she's going to be the candidate for the Democrat Party for president. They've said that they have locked in over half of the delegates needed that have pledged to support her. Of course, that could all change because they're just pledging, but it looks like that's the case. No word yet at all on who she might pick as a VP, mostly because that's not the important thing right now. Let's recap. A couple of weeks ago, we had the debate. Joe Biden did awful. Not that that's a surprise, right? Then last week, Donald Trump gets shot in the ear. And from there, it's just this snowball effect of craziness. About 5 days ago, 6 days ago, Joe Biden did an interview where he said, I'm in this to win it. I'm not stepping down. And the only way that I would consider stepping down is if I had some kind of illness that would prevent me from being president, which isn't that unusual. I think most any president would probably say that. By that afternoon, it was announced that he had COVID, and really haven't seen anything from him since then. Like, he's just disappeared. And there's been growing speculation. And then he resigned from the campaign and, gave all of his support to Kamala Harris. Well, in the last 24 or so hours, there's been a lot of weird things going on. There's been a no-fly zone over Delaware where he lives. Kamala Harris took a flight up there. There's been leaks out of the White House from some pretty credible sources that, are journalists that have connections in the White House, saying that their sources are saying that the White House is all confused. They have no idea where he's at. that the chief of staff is telling people, we just got to keep working as normal, that the Secretary of State is telling their people, we just got to act like everything's normal and keep working as normal, even though no one knows what's going on. And by all appearances, it looks like that there's no one actually running the country, that there is no president. At least that's the way it appears. And so because of that, there's this growing speculation that Joe Biden has either passed away or that he's very near that point. In fact, I saw one post earlier, just a little bit ago, of someone saying that, his inside sources in the White House, and he's a reporter, say that Joe Biden is still alive, but he's not doing very good, that he's kind of on the deathbed kind of thing. Again, I have no evidence of this whatsoever, but it does appear that way. Now, I know that a lot of you, so I want to stop for just a second, because I know a lot of you are going to say, well, we haven't had the real Joe Biden in a while, and this is a coup attempt. Those are all possibilities. Now, we have been going into this crazyville stuff for so long that even some of the wildest conspiracy theories, I think, have some kind of credibility to them and are on the table. I don't know. All I'm telling you is just trying to piece it together and give you the best that I can. But the thing is where it's bad is that it's not just that if Joe Biden steps down or dies or whatever and Kamala becomes the president, which all of us kind of thought that was probably going to end up happening. In fact, most of us have been saying that since day one, since he was inaugurated. So that shouldn't be that surprising. What should be concerning to all of us is that, not surprising, but concerning, is that whoever is running the show, whoever is pulling the strings, has obviously escalated things quite significantly. An attempt on Donald Trump, Joe Biden gets sick, he drops out of the race, Kamala becomes the candidate, Joe Biden disappears, possibly passed away, possibly on his deathbed. All these things have happened within just a few short days of time. And so what I see this as, the interpretation that I'm getting out of this, is that our nation is in an extremely critical moment. Maybe more critical than during the Nixon administration and his resignation. Maybe more critical than JFK getting assassinated. We are in a very critical hour. And we can speculate all we want about what could be happening and who's running things and what's going on and, the QAnon and the left and the globalist and all this kind of stuff. The fact is we don't know. And when all of this stuff, it's public. This is not stuff that they're doing behind closed doors. It's stuff that the American people really has never seen happen. So many things all at once. And it's public, so it tells me that if they feel comfortable enough to make it public, or if that's the plan to make it all public, then we're in for some crazy stuff. Remember, I said just yesterday that Barack Obama, I think he tweeted or something, that there will be, major challenges ahead for this nation, that there will be huge challenges. I can't remember the exact wording, but that's basically what he said. And if there's anyone that probably has a good idea of what's going on, I would say it's him. And I think that's very, very truthful. Now, it's not just what's going on in our own political system and the political parties and who's president, who's running the show. Is this really a coup attempt? How did Joe Biden go from what appears to be the normal Joe Biden, the normal feeble Joe Biden, to, gone? What's really going on? And then also going on at the same time today, there was the Senate hearing or the House hearing for the Secret Service and what happened with Donald Trump. And that was a complete debacle. I didn't watch it. I just watched a few clips of it. Complete debacle. More and more stuff keeps coming out that's absolutely, it's becoming pretty obvious that it was a hit job, like an inside hit job. But here's the thing. We got stuff heating up in the Middle East. We got stuff heating up continually with Russia and Ukraine. It looks like Ukraine is, going to lose even bigger. Is Russia going to make a move to get this thing stopped and done so that the win is exactly how they want it and not risk, the next president coming in and changing that? China, Taiwan. I mean, this would be, I can't think of any situation going on right now on this planet that would be the more opportune time than right now for China to make its move on Taiwan without any solid, clear leadership in the United States, in the White House. And there's been rumors of that. Japan has insinuated that China could move on Taiwan any day now. There's a lot of real serious issues going on. And it's not so much of whether or not Joe Biden's the president and he hasn't been in charge for the last 3.5 years. You and I know that. That's not the question. And that's not the problem. The problem is, and it's not so much Kamala. I mean, would she be worse than Joe Biden? Probably would be. But that's not the problem either. The problem is that they're allowing these optics to be so public. They're allowing this chaos and confusion to be so public that it makes me think that there's probably something that's really big and bad that's about ready to happen. They're pretty good at trying to hide things. And when something is this public, is this, looks so bad, they turned against Joe Biden, debating on who was going to take his place. Now it's Kamala Harris, which makes no sense whatsoever. The weakest candidate of all the possible candidates for the Democrat Party is their front runner. Yes, I know she can be controlled, blah, blah, blah. But then now this whole thing with Joe Biden, his health, his illness, is he alive? All this stuff. And the internet, the news media is trying to spin it that, the Democrats, the left and everything, they've just lost control. There's infighting and they've lost control and it's chaotic. Maybe on certain levels it seems that way, but you're not going to make me believe that at the top levels of globalists, Marxists, the elites, the ones that's pulling the strings, that they've lost control. This is all according to their plan. And if that is the truth, if you believe that, then that should make you a little bit nervous. Because if their plan is to allow these things to happen on such a public stage so that everyone can see it, even the mainstream media is reporting on it, then we may have some serious things happening, some serious challenges. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I believe fully that this is a very critical hour for our nation, and maybe one of the most dangerous that we've ever experienced. It's definitely up there in a high level of that. And so I'm not here to scare you. I'm not here to terrify you. I'm not telling you to go jump in your bunkers or, go hide in your closets or, board up your windows or anything like that. I'm telling you, we need to wake up and be ready. Your active preparedness and readiness, your readiness level should be, think of the government. They have DEFCONs 1 through 3, 1 through 4, 1 through 5, all these different levels. Red, yellow, orange, blah blah blah. Yours should be at a pretty high level right now, maybe the highest. You should be. You're prepping, and I'm not talking just going and buying some cans of beans. I'm saying all the things that you're doing to make sure that you're ready when things happen should be probably a pretty high priority in your life. I know you work, you go to school, you got family, you do church things. I get it. You do all. I'm not saying quit your job and stop all this. I said this today over on the Locals channel, and someone questioned that. I'm not saying quit everything and just do nothing but this. I'm saying that this should be a very heavy focus right now in your life. You're getting your state of readiness to where it needs to be. Because I think the likelihood of something over the next hours, few days, probably not more than a week, are getting pretty good. And I would guess that, and this isn't a prediction, because I don't know, but, could this country be in a war within the next 30 days? I think it's becoming a very strong likelihood. And we don't know what all that's going to entail and how much that's going to directly affect us. So whatever you're doing or you plan on doing in the near future to increase your state of readiness, to increase your ability to survive the things that are happening, I would highly suggest you put a pretty strong focus on it right now. I know we have lives to live, and so you can't do it 24/7, but it should be a very high priority in your life, because things don't look good right now. They look pretty unsettling. And it's not just what's happening on the surface, it's what's happening behind the scenes. That should be what's got you concerned. Because if they're doing this on the surface, what they're doing behind the scenes is going to be pretty severe. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order. Today, right now, you need to be preparing mentally, physically, and most especially spiritually. Your prayer life, your Bible study life right now should be a very high priority. Okay? Very high priority. Putting lots of effort into that. Get ready, folks, because it looks pretty crazy out there right now. Thank you all for watching. Catch you in the next video.